Hey everyone, I'm Nicole and I wanted to take a minute to talk about the intuition today and, its purpose and kind of how it works so that you can, attempt to listen to it even better, even better than you do already. And so, the way I see it or the way I experience it, through my readings and through the work I do, is that we took this form, these bodies, to learn, to expand. Our spirit, our essence, wanted to gain something new and heal in this lifetime through the life that we're living. And so in order to guide us and navigate through this life towards more healing, our spirit communicates with us through our gut feeling, through our intuition, through that inner guidance that tells us yes or no. And so when I look at sort of the purpose of our intuition, of that gut feeling we have, no matter how basic it is, whatever we're having a gut feeling about, it is in the purpose of healing. It is directing us towards something that is beneficial to us, to our spirit in some way. And so when I look at how that functions for people, it's not always going to lead you on the happiest, easiest, most comfortable journey. In terms of being able to grow, if you think about, when you were a kid and you were physically growing, it wasn't comfortable. I think that's why they call it growing pains, because there is a level of discomfort that comes with growth. And so oftentimes our guidance, our intuition is going to push us in the direction of discomfort. Discomfort in that it is something entirely new, something that is expansive, is a little stretchy for what we're comfortable with in terms of our old patterns and then trying to engage in new ones. And so knowing that in the purpose of healing, intuition as a form of navigation, as the thing that guides you on your journey through life, may not always be easy, and that is okay. It's still good, especially when we think about it in the capacity of healing, of learning, of gaining experience. There is no right or wrong. It's all good. It's all basically good. In terms of how our intuition is able to talk to us, some of us have the volume turned up really high on our intuition, and some of us, we have to turn the volume down low. And there is no, again, right or wrong. It's what we have to do in any given time in terms of our experience, in terms of our learning. Sometimes a really traumatizing event, we can sort of turn the volume down on our intuition because it doesn't feel good. And so when we're trying to get to the bottom of how we're feeling, when we're trying to tune into what's going on for us, our intuition is going to talk to us through our body. It's not necessarily going to talk to you through your mind. Our mind is geared towards oftentimes our relationships to the outer world. Our mind, depending on where we're from and who we were raised by, may be full of anxiety or fear that has to do with social circumstances or other sort of outside world circumstances, and it's not necessarily going to be aligned with what our intuition says. And so oftentimes if your mind says one thing and your intuition says something else, that's a good sign. It means you're alive and you're normal and you're human. And so as we're trying to sort of decipher the difference between what our head is telling us because of what's been put in it throughout our life versus what sort of that most purely essential part of ourselves feels, we can feel it so subtly as what my body feels comfortable with and what my body doesn't feel comfortable with. Your body is the house of your spirit. It is the home of your intuition. It is literally where your gut is. And so you can start to ask yourself, you can start to turn up the volume on your intuition by starting to notice, through a conversation, does this person make me feel comfortable? Do my habits make me feel comfortable? Is the food I'm eating good for my body? Does it feel good? And your answers are going to be really different for other people's. The way your body, the way your intuition is going to guide you is going to look a lot different than maybe your best friend or your, closest relative. Your intuition is different because your purpose, what you're trying to heal, is going to look different. And so oftentimes when we're sort of trying to get to the bottom of what our body's telling us, we have to sort of quiet our thoughts and opinions on something and instead just feel into that sort of most basic experiential sensation of, does this feel good or bad to me? And sometimes when we get stuck between a rock and a hard place, when we're trying to make a decision, do I go left or do I go right? You can even say out loud to yourself both, I will go left or I will go right. And notice how it feels in your body. One, you might contract. You might say, I will go left. Oh, that doesn't feel so good. Or you might say, I'm going to go right. And so notice sort of how it is your body is talking to you, because that is how you're going to get into closer contact with your intuition. And so the daily practice of serving your own healing, of helping your spirit grow, is to just kind of notice throughout your day, no matter what you're doing, whether it's talking to someone, going to work, buying something, working on something, a creative project, eating something, ask yourself, how does this feel to my body right now? Whatever my mental constructs or conceptions are, let me sort of turn those off, and just for a minute, how does it feel in my heart? How does it feel in my belly? How does it feel in my feet? And tuning into how it feels in your body is going to help you heal. Even if it's something really subtle, it's going to show you the bigger picture of what direction your spirit wants to move in, all through your body. So, goodness bless your body. You're lucky to have one. So yeah, that's my thought on intuition today. Just something I wanted to share. Thank you, everybody.